106.7 Lights FM.
106.7 Light FM, Cubby and Christine in the morning. So Jeremy Piven is an actor. He's a producer. You know him from awesome movies like Grosse Point Blank, Old School, The Goods, Live Hard, So Hard, Mr. Selfridge, Christine, which you're going to talk about in a second.
I know, because I'm such a big fan. And, of course,
Ari Gold in the HBO series Entourage, which ran from 2004 to 2011. Jeremy has a comedy show coming up tonight and tomorrow night, which we'll dive into in just a second. Please welcome to the Light FM studios the amazing Jeremy Piven. What's up, Jeremy?
Thank you. All right.
so
Live.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Did I see you a minute ago in the hallway doing exercises?
Yeah, I have to stretch out because you hit a certain age, you know, this is how you know you're getting older. I used to look at a woman in a short skirt and I'd be like, wow, she's hot. Now I'm like, I wonder if she's cold. You know, that's what happens. Don't get cold, kids.
Right.
So I have to keep keep it, you know,
Keep it
limber.
loose.
Keep it loose, man.
Yeah, he was
Come
stretching out there, Christina.
Well,
Yeah, I
that's
saw
pretty
it.
good because but Cubby and I are at the point, too, when we get out of the chair, we go,
Yeah.
oof.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
When you wake up with injuries, it sucks. When you didn't do anything the day before.
Yeah, you just gotta be mobile. Gotta keep it moving.
Right.
I talk about so much of this and a lot of different stuff, even like on set stuff and growing up on stage. But I do talk about, you know, the fact that, you know, Joe Biden's 81 years old, but you know who else is 81? Mick Jagger.
I know.
And Mick Jagger is sprinting. You know, you got to go forward. That's a whole other situation. I'll finish that in Nyack this weekend, you guys.
Yeah, tell everybody where you're going to be tonight and tomorrow night.
I'm going to be at the Levity Live in West Nyack. Where do they go for tickets? levitylive.com/something something
Yes.
something.
Just Google Levity Live.
Levity Live.
We'll link
Well-
it to our website as well, but it's levitylive.com/Nyack.
Yes. And people are like, where's Nyack? How far is it? How do I get there? I'm like, you don't have a Google machine? I work for you?
I know.
My time means nothing?
If people ask me for
great town
directions,
and a good
sorry to cut you
venue.
off, Christine. I'll edit this out. If people cut me off, if I'm walking down the street and ask for directions, I actually get mad because I'm like, you don't have a phone? Do you get like that?
Cubby. Don't be
Okay, maybe
a
I mean.
quote unquote typical
The-
New Yorker.
I'm a typical
Where,
New Yorker,
I always
exactly.
give directions.
Do you?
Always. Yeah.
There you
Hopefully
go.
I point them in the right direction though.
That's why you guys are a good team,
Yeah.
right? You're totally different.
We work together.
A little bit.
She's
Balance
sweet
each
and you're
other
an
out.
asshole.
You nailed it. That's our new morning show. Wake up with sweet and asshole.
Yeah. You're a native New Yorker yourself, right? Born and raised in New York and in the
I wish I was. I mean, I was born here, and you know, was here for a little bit, and then went to and was raised in Chicago. Came back here to go to NYU. I love New York. My mom's in LA. That's why I'm there. But I love it here, and I see myself ending up here for sure.
Good.
I feel very comfortable here. You can just be whoever you are here, and there's no judgment, and I love it. I just walk everywhere. If you walk in LA, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
They want to pull over and ask you what went wrong with your life.
you need
You know what I
help.
mean? It's a disaster. So there's not a lot of walking in LA.
Yeah.
Although your PR team asked if we offered car services.
Yes.
Did you know that?
I know that it sounds very bougie.
But it's not. I understood it. But I mean, you like walking though, so it didn't
I
matter.
do like
I don't feel
walking.
guilty about not getting
I
a
do
car.
like walking. I'm basically, you know, I came from Wall Street. That's where I started. It would have taken me. I would have been the wandering Jew that took 11 years to get here. I would have been walking for 3 months to get here, Cubby. Okay.
Yeah, well,
By the way, you know how you know someone's Jewish, Cubby?
How?
They tell you.
They do.
That's what you ever notice that for no reason. That's what we do.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
so tell us about your stand-up career,
Yes.
because we know you, of course, as an actor, and you're incredible with comedy. Your timing is so wonderful.
Thank you.
How did you transition into or add this on to the resume, doing stand-up?
I've always wanted to do it. I've been an actor and a comedic actor and done sketch comedy and improvised and my whole life, and I've always admired stand-ups and always dreamt of doing it. And at a certain point, you know, and this will sound like a TED Talk, but I think you got to get out of your comfort zone and just embrace your fears. And, you know, people are, if they listed their number one thing that they're most afraid of, and it's getting up and doing stand-up and public humiliation.
Right.
And no matter how funny you are or how many years I've been on stage, it's a different muscle. So you bomb at first, and you have to kind of work your way out, and it's a blast.
Are you affected if
all sounds familiar.
it does all sound familiar because we're very sensitive people, Christine and I. Like if you see the whole audience laughing, right, but one person's doing this, just shrugging and not really into it, will that affect you? Because that would affect me. One person would affect me, but do you just ignore that, or how does that bother you at all?
It's a great point. I think in the beginning, things like that bother you because we're only human. And that's almost like a metaphor for our lives. You can be loved by so many people, and there's one person in the corner, and you focus on them. But that has nothing to do with you, because the reality is, you could say to them, "Are you having a good time?" And they go, "Yeah." And then you say, "Well, you should tell your face." You know what I mean? Like there are ways to deal with people like that.
Right.
But also the reality is they could be having a terrible day. They could, have just had a tragedy. There's so many different variables that have nothing to do with you. And if you choose to focus on that, it's just going to make you unhappy and get in your own way. I told you this is going to be a TED Talk this morning.
Yeah, this is good. We could use it. Seriously.
Yeah.
So what about the hecklers? Because that is a thing with a big difference, right, between doing theater and, as you said, I think the scariest thing and the bravest, most wonderful thing is that you're doing stand-up. Yeah. You got to deal with the hecklers. If somebody's like, "Hey, Ari," or something, how do you handle that?
I love it because it's an opportunity to engage with them and have a dialogue, no matter where they're coming from, and it's a great challenge. And there's so many different facets to the game of stand-up. There's your material, and you keep working that and honing it, and then there's your crowd work, and that's one of the many muscles that you have to kind of really start working. And so I love it. I love a good heckle. Can you dance with it and make it fun? And and I've studied the greats, and I watched Jerry Seinfeld deal recently with some hecklers. That were pro-Palestinian hecklers. And he said, you and I want the same thing. We both need an audience.
That's a great Seinfeld.
You want to do well. I'm doing well.
Right.
You're not doing well here. You need to do. And he basically found a way, because he's been doing it for, 40, 50 years. I mean, my God, he's so genius. He figured out a way to navigate that potentially awkward situation so beautifully. And take their point of view. Like, you want to be heard, you're in the wrong place. You're trying to convert these people that are there to see him. Instead of getting angry, telling them to leave, taking a shot, whatever. So there are levels to the game, and you look at the greats and the guys that have been around forever, and I see it as, look, I got up last night, and I have an hour set, and I just keep grinding and getting better. I do a couple hundred shows a year. And I've been on stage since I was 8 years old as an actor. But as a stand-up, I've only been touring since 2017, right? Now, if you told that to a stand-up comic, they go,
right, they wouldn't take you
he's
seriously.
new.
Yeah.
He's a baby.
Right.
The reality is, I have a half a century of stage time. And, I started Second City with Chris Farley in the 90s. And I've been around, so I'm not saying that, that I'm, Robin Williams, but I love doing it, and I put my ego aside and I get after it.
Good for you. Good for you.
Sounds like so much fun. Yeah.
So in other words, come to West Nyack,
Yeah.
or you will be punished. And by the way, I'm viciously mediocre. After all that, I'm terrible. Oh, you're gonna hear crickets. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not somebody who picks on people in the audience, right?
No.
You're not the insult comic.
If they pick on you, though, you probably do.
It's interesting. People, and I address this. I've been in their living rooms for a decade playing Ari Gold, and so they get used to it. I played it authentically, and so they get used to that character, and they, think that that's who I am. And so it's a great way to show them who I am. I'm a stage actor from Chicago who's got this great mom, and I run lines with her to this day. I say on stage that I do lines with her. I mean, I run lines with her. Don't do
Your
lines
mom
with
lies.
kids. Run lines run. She tests me on all my stuff, and so it's a great way for people to have a sense of who I am. And I don't like, going off on people. If they take shots at me, I'll engage,
Right.
and we'll have fun with it. And then, ultimately, I've got a mic. And I've been doing this, and I know how to do it. So don't bring a butter knife to a tank fight.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Because if it usually doesn't end well for someone who's trying to heckle a comedian.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, how about people who want to meet you because they're huge fans of yours? Do you hang out afterwards? Do you say hi?
Well, if they say, Cubby and Christine,
Okay.
then we'll give them a free meet and greet.
Wow,
How about that?
Okay.
All right.
That's pressure on
Thank
us
you.
now.
Yes.
Because if no one says anything,
Sell this show, baby.
right.
Yeah.
We're like, we got some juice
Or why
here.
can we give away a couple free tickets?
Sure, for tonight.
Let's do it.
Yeah, would
We'll
love
do it for
to
tonight.
do that.
Yes.
All right, 1-800-222-1067.
I mean, it's hard to part with tickets because I'm Jewish. You know what I mean? I want to hold on to that money, but okay.
All right, this will be
just like
for
embracing cliches
tonight
for
or
some
tomorrow
reason.
night. Jeremy Piven live, West Nyack, New York at West Nyack Levity Live.
Thank
And
you so
don't-
much.
Wait, before you leave, you have something happening around Christmas time, too. We have a
Yeah.
film.
Thank you. I have a film, that I've only been working on for 14 years. It's called The Performance, and it's the best performance of my life. And short story in The New Yorker by Arthur Miller called The Performance. My mother gave it to me, and I fell in love with it. And my sister had her adapt it and direct it. And I play a tap dancer living in Brooklyn, not making it, and you ain't getting younger. And ultimately, it's about how much of yourself will you compromise to become successful. Because he hides, the fact that he's Jewish to dance for Hitler to gain some momentum in his career. And it's really heavy. And, it's incredibly topical now, unfortunately. And, it's out December 27th. I'll come back here. I'll bring my tap shoes.
2 more months. We'll
Well,
see you here.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely
Actually,
want to
1
talk
month.
about this. Yeah.
Oh, wait, what am I thinking? Yeah.
We're really close. Time is
I
flying.
think it's October
Yeah.
still.
I-
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see you in a month and a half.
Yeah, there was an election. Have you,
Yeah.
have you been here with
Reagan
us,
won, right?
Cubby?
Reagan won it?
We're a
Landslide?
little
Reagan, there you
Right.
go. Is OJ in some sort of trouble?
Right.
What,
Back to the
Are you
90s
in a
we go.
time machine, sir?
This just in.
Jeremy Piven, a pleasure, and it means a lot that you came up here, and good luck with your shows this
Thank you,
weekend.
Cubby.
Thank
I'm
you.
coming back whether you like it or not.
We'd
All right, bring
love
it
to
on.
See you back here. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
106.7